Critical thinking is always difficult, but it's almost impossible when we're scared. There's no room for facts when our minds are occupied by fear. Hans Rosling. If you watch the news, you are likely to think the world is going to fall apart any day now. Wars still rage, violence, natural disasters, and corruption are all widespread. Oh, and not to mention the global pandemic that has changed the way the world operates, probably forever. But things aren't actually that bad. At least that's the premise for Hans Rosling's book, Factfulness. While we believe everything is doom and gloom, statistics show that there has never been a better time to be alive as a human being. Rosling breaks the book down into 10 different instincts that many people share that distort and worsen our view of the world as a whole. The first of these is the gap instinct. Those of us living in the developed world have this misconception that a large part of the rest of the world is still underdeveloped, living in poverty, and without basic comforts like electricity. And this simply isn't true. As humans, we have a tendency to believe in a us versus them type situation, where the gap between the two groups is quite wide. The fact is that 85% of the world lives in what can be described as the developed world, and only 6% of people live in conditions considered developing. This makes sense if you think about the bell curve. The lump in the middle is where most people exist. Only on the far left side and the right side of the graph do you find the minority of people who are either extremely wealthy or extremely poor. The second instinct is the negativity instinct. Never before has it been easier to get access to news and media, and giant corporations are fighting for your eyes and attention every single day. And what gets attention? Negativity. For most of us, the humdrum of our 9-to-5 jobs, our picturesque family with a house, a white picket fence, 2.2 kids, and a dog is kind of boring after a while. What isn't boring is the drama between two celebrities, the political fights that are going on, the disagreements between two nations over exports, or the battle of your favorite sports team versus their arch rivals. This stuff is interesting. Evolutionists believe that the human tendency to pay attention to the negative is a survival instinct. Noticing the nice weather was less important than noticing the lion in the bushes. While we don't have to worry about being prey any longer, the instinct is still there. The truth is that things probably aren't as bad as the news would lead you to believe, and it's not all sunshine and rainbows either. It's likely somewhere in between. Number 3, the straight line instinct. This fallacy lies around the belief that things will remain as they are or have been. Really, the only constant of human existence is change. Governments, empires, and nations rise and fall. People will enter and exit your life. Each and every one of us is growing older each day. The coronavirus has changed work and socialization, probably permanently, except that things are changing and will continue to do so. Number 4, the fear instinct. This instinct goes hand in hand with the negativity instinct that we covered as the second one. See, a little bit of fear is a good thing. It tells us not to walk down a dark alley on our phones and to lock our doors at night. A lot of fear can lead us to exaggerate negative perceptions, become paranoid, and cloud our judgment. The fact of the matter is that we live in the safest, healthiest period of human history. Your life expectancy is greater than that of any of your ancestors. Number 5, the size instinct. According to Hans, to avoid getting things out of proportion, you need only 2 magic tools, comparing and dividing. We tend to take a single data point and make bold, broad statements about it. The author points out that the fact that fewer children die in hospitals these days could lead us to believe that hospitals and doctors are improving, while statistics show it's actually preventative measures outside of the emergency room that are improving. When given a fact, look for comparisons and understand the other factors that are involved. Number 6, the generalization instinct. Unfortunately, this is how stereotypes are formed. We have one bad experience with a type or group of people, and thus everyone who belongs to that group is stuck with a label. When you find yourself putting a person or a thing in a box with a label on it from a past experience, step back and question that action. It may fit, but more likely than not it won't. Number 7, the destiny instinct. Similar to the straight line instinct, this is the belief that the past will predict the future. His father was an alcoholic, so he's destined to be one as well. There are numerous examples of people breaking the mold and escaping a family or a societal mold. Groups grow and morph with the times, cultures and institutions often evolve or get left behind. Small changes take time to be noticed, but these are the building blocks that result in significant differences. Number 8, the single perspective. Humans tend to find and take the path of least resistance, which is the reason behind the single perspective instinct. We focus on a single cause or simple solutions to make our problems easier to solve. Few problems are so simple that a single change or effort can fix them, though. We need to look at multiple perspectives to understand different aspects of each problem so that we can develop a complete solution. Number 9, the blame instinct. The blame instinct rears its ugly head in today's victim culture. When something bad happens, many people bemoan their bad luck and blame these instances or individuals or groups. This allows us to simply say it's their fault, rather than to look for more complex and more complete explanations of a bad event. Finding an external scapegoat also allows you to refrain from shouldering any blame yourself. I can't be at fault because it's obviously their fault. Instead of looking for a villain when something bad happens, the author suggests looking for the cause. Most problems are caused by a wide range of factors, not a single individual or group. And 10, finally, the urgency instinct. The last one is what often causes stress in our lives and amplifies our other instincts, often in a bad way. The urgency instinct causes us to take immediate action to a perceived threat or danger. This rush to take action and avoid danger causes stress and makes it hard to think analytically. It triggers our fight or flight instincts. When faced with a potential problem, danger, or threat, in most situations, instead of acting rashly, take a step back, take a deep breath, and look at all the data. Then you can make a calm, calculated decision rather than drastic, immediate action. Remember, critical thinking is always difficult, but it's almost impossible when we are scared. There's no room for facts when our minds are occupied by fear. Multiple times during the reading of Factfulness, I found myself saying, "Dang, I do that." It was very enlightening and eye-opening to read. It's no surprise to me that this book has become an international bestseller, and Bill Gates listed it as one of his 5 best books of 2018. Do you have a book that you think we should summarize? Do us a favor and leave your ideas in the comments below, and your idea might just be our next video. And before you go, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Both help us continue to provide these summaries.